Rule 17 has changed in the new Racing Rules of Sailing 2025. It's changed from the 2024 edition, and Rule 17 is really important for team racing, and I've had lots of questions from people about it, so in this video we're very quickly going to go over what this new rule means for team racing. I'd also like to give a special thanks to Charlie Merriweather for these new 3D printed boats that he's made for me. They look fantastic. So, Rule 17 works whereby if a boat establishes an overlap with another boat on the same tack from clear astern, a leeward overlap, then they're not allowed to luff above their proper course to the next mark, wherever that might be. Now, importantly, it's any boat on the same tack, and same tack is defined as the side of the hull of the boat which the wind is coming over. So any boat past head to wind on this side is on starboard, regardless of whether they've completed their tack, whether they're almost jibing, and similarly for port. So same tack overlapped. Now in the old Rule 17 there was an exemption which said that Rule 17 doesn't apply if a boat is required by Rule 13 to keep clear. Rule 13 is while tacking. So what this meant is that Rule 17 wouldn't apply if a boat was between head to wind and close hauled while tacking. So if you established an overlap while a boat was between head to wind and close hauled, if you establish your overlap here, then you would be allowed to luff above your proper course and take them all the way up to head to wind, rather than, let's say, going on a reach like in this example. So in the new Rule 17, this no longer applies, and the main place this is going to affect you is when you're going upwind and you duck another boat. So in the previous rules, a classic example of this is, so you're going upwind, you're a port boat, they're a starboard boat, and your proper course is a close hauled course here because you're going upwind towards the next mark. If you duck a starboard boat, they're going to want to tack on top of you. Now if they tack well, they're going to tack something like this, and you're going to establish your overlap after they've passed head to wind, but you're going to be able to luff all the way up to close hauled because you're going to have established this overlap whilst they were affected by Rule 13 while tacking, whilst they were between head to wind and close hauled, and therefore you can take them up to head to wind, and Rule 17 doesn't apply. In the new Rule 17 will apply any time after they've passed head to wind. So as soon as they reach head to wind, if they reach here and you're not yet overlapped with them, so drawing a line from their transom, if you're not past this line, then you're only going to be able to luff them up to your proper course. So a classic defence, if someone tries to tack on you, if you're ducking them on port and they're on starboard, is that you would luff very hard as you're ducking them, and then when they completed their tack, they're going to be very close to you and they're going to drift down onto you, maybe hit you, or not going to be able to keep clear, and that's going to be a penalty on them. But now this defence is going to be much harder to pull off because you're going to have to start luffing high much earlier and hope that by the time they reach head to wind, you just have that overlap there. But that's going to be very hard to do compared to before. So basically the big change is that if you're ducking someone, it's going to be way harder to defend the slam dunk tack, and you need to be much more careful about luffing when someone tacks on top of you. Because this is a rule change, umpires are going to be extremely vigilant for this in the early part of 2025 and maybe even later on. So it's going to probably be ruled quite harshly in favour of this boat here, that Rule 17 will be off, and so in general you're going to want to play it extra safe to start with and not be looking to luff too hard unless you absolutely have to. So that slam dunk defence is going to have to be really sharp. You're going to want nice close ducks where you can definitely get an overlap by the time they're passing head to wind, or you not want to be in a situation where you don't have to rely on this. So we're going to look for other options, and we're going to try and avoid putting it into the hands of the umpires. Instead, sail a clean race like always. To sum this rule change up, before, in the 2024 rules, you had to be overlapped with someone by the time they reached close hauled in order for Rule 17 to be off and for you to be able to luff them up to head to wind instead of just your proper course. In the new rules, Rule 17 applies from when they pass head to wind. So if you're not overlapped with them when they're passing head to wind, when they're tacking, if you're not overlapped with them then you can only luff them up to your proper course and no higher. Hope that makes sense. It's a quick one today. If you've got any questions about this, leave them in the comments and I'm going to answer them. Thanks for watching and see you next time.